then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Times have you asked for what felt like was the bare minimum, but it just started another fight where they yelled at you and called you those names again? I guess I can't do anything right. Your feelings aren't my problem, right? And when the fight is finally over, once again, it's you that ends up apologizing to them, isn't it? Once again, you go first to try to repair or mend this relationship. Once again, you go back to bending over backwards to be seen or heard or loved. And maybe that's because, whether we want to admit it or not, that's what we're used to, isn't it? That's what makes sense to us. That's what's familiar. It's familiar to be told, quit complaining. It's familiar to be told you're not worthy of love or selflessness. We're used to feeling like we need to work to be accepted or respected. And you know what's so sad in all this? We constantly question ourselves. We question whether or not we're allowed to feel or need that. Or maybe we are asking for too much. Maybe we are overreacting. Maybe they're right. Right? Wrong. You are far too valuable for anyone to be mistreating you or yelling at you or calling you names. You are lovable and you deserve kindness and respect, baseline. But when you already have that seed of doubt planted in your mind and somebody tells you with conviction that you're the problem, you're too needy, when they invalidate you or call you those names, sometimes it's really hard not to believe them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my Friday. The voice of reason back in the building live on KBLA Talk 1580 in the heart of Leimert Park, a.k.a. Africa Town. And you know, when we want to poke the bear, when we want to slap the hornet's nest, I bring in Tony.
Or when you want to get real.
No, Tony, you know.
We gonna get real, son.
I see my brother Tony Massey at the Cigar Lounge. I got another topic. I got something we should talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need you to set this up.
All right.
This is your chance.
Okay.
To set this up the way I set up shows. You probably can't do
I can't do that.
Okay.
I can't do that.
All
I
right.
can't do
So,
that. That's
okay,
a lot
so
of pressure.
all right, okay. So let's do it this way. The fans want to know
Okay.
what the topic is, and they want you to be able to ask them questions about the topic so that they can get a better understanding of it.
I could do that.
So, what exactly are you bringing to VOR Nation
All right.
tonight?
So we're talking about. Let me see. Let me break the topic down the way you did because I like the way you did it. Let's see. Diet love. Can a relationship be sustained on diet love?
Well, what is diet love?
It's love watered down. I think it's love without all the elements of love.
So, can you be happy without love?
Right. Can you be happy with your idea of love? That's what we're talking about.
Well, first you got to get it.
No, I'm saying you got it.
Okay.
You got the love because the last time I was here, we talked about do you deserve what you're asking. So you got it. You got everything you've been asking for. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can your relationship survive on your definition, your idea, your perception, your belief, what you think love is?
Well, we just talked about being enough.
Right.
And what you're basically saying is your idea of love enough? That's
exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because
Oh.
I am of the opinion, and I can't wait for your listeners to chime in on this. The idea of real love is there is a real love, right? And it exists. But I think it's outside of the privy, the understanding.
It's outside of the concept of an idea.
Absolutely.
There we
Absolutely.
go.
So the love that we're all looking for is not sustainable because it isn't real. It's satisfying, but not real. And it's only satisfying until it has to be tested.
I was about to say, it's satisfying enough?
Until it's tested.
So then when it gets tested.
Right. That's when we realize we've been drinking diet love. We've been consuming diet love this whole time.
But typically we don't discard the idea. We discard the person.
Exactly.
We keep the idea now.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Hey.
So here's some of the questions. Are you qualified to recognize true love when you experience it?
What? I don't like the word qualified.
Okay, but see that this isn't fair.
You're always trying to Virgoize spirituality.
You ask these Socratic questions, and I keep my mouth shut. I'm just asking for a little opportunity.
You got it.
What does it mean for someone to love or be loved properly? What does that mean? How do we define proper love? How can we differentiate between genuine love and superficial affection? Can one truly feel love if the love they receive is conditional? And is true love conditional?
Okay, stop. Hold on. First off, it is my express belief, and maybe you can help me with this.
Sure.
Because this is your topic.
Yeah. It's one that needs to be done.
It is my express belief that about 99% of all relationships
most of them
are in a diet love space.
Yes, I agree with that.
I believe
100%.
they're in a diet love space. I believe if it is fulfilling for a time, for most people, that's good.
Yeah.
That's all, fulfilling for a little while.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
Most people are here for a good time,
Not a
long time. So I don't really see the problem in what you're posing, because most people experience those types of relationships. You've heard me say it a lot. Dr. David R. Hawkins, to me, gave us a very powerful tool with the consciousness map
Yeah.
that is located in his Power versus Force series of books. And love is such a rarefied state of consciousness.
Right.
I would venture to say, like I said, 99% of most relationships are in this: you do for me, I do for you. As long as you do for me,
Yeah.
I'll continue to do for you. And when it comes to an end, we might be disappointed, but then we move on.
So
It's nothing.
I guess my pushback is we're still using longevity, a relationship's longevity, as a barometer for success.
For its success.
Right?
Yeah.
We're still celebrating. If someone says, I've been married for 25 years, people go, oh, man, they clap. One, because it's not very often that
Right.
people stay long. But does that mean that those two people are experiencing real love? Or have they just gone through multiple periods of satisfaction and just didn't give up?
Sometimes it's that, sometimes it's that.
Yeah.
A relationship can shift into a companionate space.
Mm.
It's like, we've been together this long.
Yeah, might as well see it out.
Sometimes it can shift into that, and then there's not a lot of love.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what I know. He sleeps in the room down the hall
Right.
on a twin bed. That's what it is. But I really believe that the reason why we have all of these complex discussions and conversations is that, A, people do not have a sense of self-awareness or self-knowledge, so they haven't really learned how to tap into what it means to discover love within oneself.
Yeah.
Which ultimately hinders them in their pursuit of cultivating a good or healthy relationship.
So should we change the vernacular then? Should we encourage, instead of stop asking for real love?
What are we asking for then?
Let's ask for what we really want. I need someone to fill this space.
Give me sex.
I want sex, companionship.
I want to be heard.
Financial support.
I want to be financially supported.
I want you to bypass all of my issues and not make them an issue.
Ignore my wounds until I bring them to your attention, and then you must become the salve.
Right.
Right.
And then once I'm satisfied, or once you're no longer able to give me what I need, I want you to exit.
I want you to leave.
Quietly.
Right.
And don't take half my stuff with you.
I'm going to say this, and it might be controversial. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. Hey, I'm sick and tired of these conversations.
Really?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. That's why I opted out of the relationship roundtable.
Yeah.
And you did a great job.
Thank you.
I was glad.
Thank you.
You and Jamila, you guys. There was a relationship roundtable at our local cigar spot.
Grown folks business.
It's called Grown Folks Business. It's at Drobe Stogies. What is it, once a month or something like
once
that?
every other month.
Once every other month, right? And my brother Tony stepped in and took over my hosting duties, and he killed it. He crushed it.
Yeah.
And I was very happy. But I get frustrated with these conversations because people forget love is spiritual.
Right.
Spiritual is intangible.
Yeah.
It's ephemeral. It's not something somebody can grab on and say, from A to Z, do this.
Right.
And you'll have love. Love is like God. It moves in mysterious ways.
Well, and I think that's the problem. It frustrates people that they can't understand God.
Yes.
Right? It takes a lot of faith and belief to surrender the part of you that says, I don't get this, but I'm going to rock with it anyway. As long as it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But once it stops feeling good, because I just love how when
So you're really blowing my mind right now. 1-800-920-1580. Get in here and join the conversation. I think Tony is basically saying that most of us are in a relationship with a feeling. And when the feeling erodes, we're gone. See, I'm about to say something that's controversial.
the psalmist said, when the thrill is gone.
I'm about to say something. Listen, love doesn't have a light at the end of the tunnel because there's no end of the tunnel for real love. All this goofiness y'all involved in is not love. It's your feelings. It's your attachment style. It's your attachment injuries. It's your upbringing. You're dating all this. And when somebody somehow colors outside of your proverbial lines, they're worthy of being thrown away.
Yeah.
They're worthy of contempt. Because real love has no ending.
Yeah, I don't think that people. I think the only agape love, the love that you're describing, exists between a mother and child, and not every mother. But I think that's the closest we'll ever get to it.
I don't think so.
There's no way a man and a woman can go into a romantic relationship and experience that type of love. It doesn't exist.
Back to God. Is God infinite?
Again,
I'm asking.
The love that God has for us.
I'm just saying the source of
you're
all
right.
that is it infinite?
Absolutely. But it is not a two-way. It's not a two-way relationship.
Let me ask. Is God synonymous with love?
God is.
Okay. Let me ask. Let me just keep asking. Let me just keep asking until I get somewhere. So, are you telling me there are aspects of the infinite God that are off limits to itself?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, cool. So, are we part and parcel a drop in the ocean of God? Yeah, you see you getting back there.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to answer this question in a way that I do not believe that we specifically were created in the image of God.
Well, let's flip it another way.
I think
Where
that
does
we
God
created-
end and we begin, and vice versa?
As soon as we start thinking for ourselves at free will.
No,
That's
impossible. That would imply that there is something outside of the purview of the infinite.
There has to be.
There isn't.
So everything.
But then you can't call it infinite.
I feel like you're playing a semantics game.
No,
with
I'm
me.
not.
I don't like it.
That's logic.
It doesn't feel good.
No, that's logic. It's not semantics. That's logic.
Okay, so are you? So because we are the Creator's creation, we must have traits of the Creator. Is that what you're saying?
We do have traits of the
So
Creator.
we because the Creator can experience that type of love.
Yes.
Then we too.
Yes.
Maybe for our Creator, but not for each other.
Yes, for each other.
No, I don't think so.
Yes. Absolutely for each other.
I don't think so. There's no way. We have too many conditions on love in order to experience it that way. That means I have to love you in spite of you.
Wait, hold on. Exactly.
I can't do that.
Absolutely. Now, that's because you got your definitions. But let me give you an example of semantics.
Okay.
God is beyond infinite. The universe is infinite. Now, if we were to break down that sentence.
God is bigger than the universe.
Bigger. Infinite. There's nothing bigger than infinite.
Right.
So you see the flaw in the sentence.
Yeah.
If the premise of the sentence is God is beyond infinite, there's not enough information in that to validate the conclusion here.
Right.
What is his conclusion? The universe is infinite.
Right. Which by definition is smaller than God.
Even though it's infinite.
Even though it's infinite.
Do you see the foolishness?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay,
I get
cool.
it.
So some of you sounded a little bit like that.
What?
Listen, when we come forward, the voice of reason with his brother Tony Massey, we back in the building.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school, Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hold up, son. Word.
Yeah. To all the and the $100 billers. For real, who ain't got no feelings. Check it out now. I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge. Tomorrow comes equipped for warfare. Beware of my crime family who got nothing to share for all those who wanna profile and pose. Rock you in your face, your brain with your nose bone. You all alone in these streets, cousin. Every man for theyself in his land. We be and keep them shook crews running like they supposed to. They come around, but they never come close to. I can see it inside your face. You're in the wrong place. Cowards like you just get their whole body laced up with and such. Speak the wrong words, man, and you will get touched. You could put your whole army against my team, and I guarantee you it'll be your very last time. Your simple words just don't move me. You're minor, we major. You're all up in the game and don't deserve to be a player. Don't make me have to call your name out.
Ladies, that 50th anniversary hip hop playlist is on fire. Your brother Zoe Williams is back in the building live on KBLA Talk 1580 with the most riveting, inspiring, and thought-provoking relationship talk show in the world.
The world.
And I'm sitting here with my brother Tony Massey, man. He struggles. He struggles.
I'm Gucci. I'm good.
I'm Gucci. He's basically saying human beings cannot experience love at the same level that God experiences love. He's basically saying we can only experience that level of love, unconditional love, for our kids.
No, I
and
said
for God.
Mother to child. I don't think that fathers can do it.
Wow.
I don't.
Wow.
I don't. I think that fathers can experience a very high level of love, but I don't think that they can experience the same level that mothers can. I think the closest love that God has for us that we can witness on earth is to watch a mother love their child. I really believe that.
Wrong.
How can my beliefs be wrong?
I'm judging Tony today. Wrong. This is a non-judgmental space.
Right.
And in 2 years, you haven't heard me judge Tony wrong.
I'm not diminishing the love that fathers have. I'm a father. I'm just saying that.
Man, I love my kids.
And I love mine. I'm
crazy.
I'm not diminishing the validity, the value, the complexity, the veracity of the love that a father has for his child. But you have to understand that the relationship between a mother and the child starts at conception.
But not every mother has unconditional love.
You're absolutely right. I don't believe that every mother represents that. I'm saying that if you want to see unconditional agape love on earth, then that's the only place that you can see it. Every other form
so you mean
of love.
A relationship?
At that level, yes. At that level. But from peer to peer, partner to partner, no, I don't.
Yes.
So we've talked about this on this show on several occasions.
And I was right then, too.
Where people are in these relationships with their hand out, right? Without they show up to the relationship with this idea of I'm here to receive.
Right.
These are the same people that you're telling me can experience unconditional love?
Yes.
How?
They have to first overcome whatever is happening in their spirit.
They don't even believe that love is spiritual.
What I'm saying, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Life will send you through a tower moment, several of them.
All right.
In order to get you to have a perspective shift. Sometimes people who lean on their own understandings have to go and hit life's proverbial tower moment.
Right.
And when that happens, that's when you get a moment of, wow, I was wrong.
Do you think that there's more to be gleaned from these conversations if we would just teach incapable people to work within their capabilities?
You and your judgment of others.
It's just so hard for me to hear you suggest that anyone can elevate if they just.
Anyone can.
No, they can't.
Yes,
so
they can.
Some people
and
are
you're
limited.
saying the reason why most people can't adjust is the very same reason why they're in these types of relationships where the bare minimum is just enough to be okay. Yeah, Giant love is fine.
For some people, yes.
Wow.
Because I mean, especially for the glutton, the ones that are gluttons, they're out here just taking all the love. Some of them need to go on a diet.
So you're saying they're like spiritually stunted or spiritually deformed in some way? Hold your thought. When we come forward,
yes,
we got phone calls. I want to talk to Leroy and Inglewood. We got a lot to talk about. Tony in here rambling. I don't know. When we come forward, we gonna clear this thing up, though.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Biden administration officials say they'll help those impacted by Hurricane Idalia for as long as it takes.
He has directed us to do everything that we can to accelerate recovery wherever people are impacted by extreme weather.
Homeland Security Advisor Liz Sherwood Randall told reporters President Biden will visit areas hit hardest by the hurricane. She added that officials won't know the full extent of the damage for several days. Idalia, which has now been downgraded to a tropical storm, made landfall early Wednesday on Florida's Gulf Coast as a powerful Category 3 hurricane. Meanwhile, the U.S. Capitol attending physician says Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is medically cleared to continue his schedule after freezing up while taking questions from reporters. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you choose from your fave 4, including a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Keep following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Hello, I'm Kate Levy. When I was just 10 years old, I lost my father, Joe, in the 9/11 attacks at the World Trade Center. He was a lieutenant in the New York City Fire Department. For 9/11 this year, now a National Day of Service, I'll be doing what my dad loved to do, helping others in need. Please join me by doing your own good deed that day. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're a veteran with a service-connected disability that is directly impacting your ability to work, resources are available to help you find employment. VA's Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VR&E, can assist you with finding a job that uses your existing skills. Or, if you're interested in exploring a new field, a VR&E counselor can help you determine the right education or training options for a new career. Find out if VR&E is right for you by visiting va.gov/VRE today.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time. Word, it's time, man. It's time, man. Alright, begin. Yeah. Straight out the open dungeons of rap. With fake niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start this. Yo.
rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface sniffing it, holding the it's man. See with the pen I'm extreme. Now, illude hoes left in my peak holes. I'm suited up with street clothes. Hand me and I'm in out the feet froze. Y'all know my stilo, with or without the airplay. I keep some E and J sitting bent up in the stairway, or either on the corner betting grants with the CeeLo champs, laughing at big sets, trying to sell some broken amps. G-Packs get off quick forever, again talkish, reminiscing about the last time the task force flipped. Again be running through the block shooting. Time to start the revolution, catch a body.
Concerning your situations, that is. And you know what? This is what I'm thinking. I feel like on a productive note, if you do choose to be productive during this time, because you do not have to be, but on a productive note, this is a good time to think about your life, think about your relationships, think about, you know, your goals, what you want to do, and who you want to be with, and all that. And I feel like this is a good time to assess all that. You know, you may not need to be messing with him. And that brings me into today's video. Today's video, we're gonna be talking about 5 examples of how to tell a guy is doing the bare minimum. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about. 5 examples of that, because I feel like liking you and being attracted to you is not enough. What are you doing to capture my interest? What are you doing to maintain my interest? What are you doing to deserve all
You know
of
what?
this?
Turn her off. Okay, no, go ahead. Let her have her say. I'm sorry. This is non-judgmental space. Go ahead.
I'm excited to do this video because, like, why not? I feel like a lot of us are in denial about the guys we're with. A lot of us like to see potential in men that isn't really there, or they may never even meet up to their full potential. Do you know what I mean? So, decided to talk about it. Okay, first things first, right? You meet a guy, he looks good, you look good, the attraction, everything is there, right? And he gets your number, okay? Okay, step up. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm a bit traditional when it comes to dating. Like, I do not like to ask guys for their number or ask them out or approach them. But you know what? It's a new age now, so I feel like it's good that you do. But when guys do that, okay, clap to you, all right? You ask for my number, what's next? See, that's the thing. He has initiated, right, for you. He's initiated asking for your number and he's gotten it. What are you doing with my number? What are you doing with it? Have you done anything with it? Like, literally, guys will chat you up. Okay, you have my number. Day 2. Okay. Day 3. Okay. Week 3. You still have not said anything like, hey, let's go out on this date. Hey, are you free next Wednesday? Hey, like, you haven't. The only thing you have done is gotten my number. That's it.
Come on, bare minimum talk.
These are the people that you're telling me can experience a godlike love.
Yes. Listen.
This woman is literally saying, I gave you my number and I was attracted to you. Now, here are 5 things you must do to keep it.
Look, you were not always at this level of consciousness that you're at today. Correct?
You're absolutely correct.
If we would have met you in your 30s.
I would have sounded like that ridiculous.
Exactly.
But again, I went through a transformation. I hit the wall that you were talking about. Not everyone will. There are men who are. I'll be 47.
You mad?
No, I'm not mad.
You mad they not gonna hit the wall?
No. I'll be 47 next week.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, there are men who are senior to me who will listen to that and think that's good advice. That makes sense.
So you're saying they deserve what they get in relationships?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Not only do they deserve...
Why you worried about their path?
Because, I'll tell you why. Because
they share the streets with you?
No, this is not for selfish reasons. This is because we have to educate people to the level of their competency.
You can only
their capacity,
educate
rather.
the willing, though.
Okay. But it's like when you imagine you're at a high school. You're speaking at a high school.
Right.
And the speaker before you says, everyone in this room has the ability to be whatever you want.
Right.
You can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer. You can be the president of the United States.
Right.
All you have to do is apply yourself, and your dreams will come true.
Right.
You think that's good advice?
Yes.
To say to a bunch of teenagers in high school?
I do.
So, that is irresponsible.
Okay, you give us your speech, please.
10% of you will do whatever you want. The rest of you need to be realistic about your life choices. And we need you. Society needs you.
What's the difference between what you're saying and that famous scene in Malcolm X where the teacher is telling a young Malcolm.
That was racially motivated. That's totally different. That's totally different. I'm not saying it's because you're black or because you're white.
I'm saying you're inept.
I'm saying we're not built the same.
You are spiritually inept. There will not be any happiness for you.
Unless you do some serious work. Let's work within the boundaries of your capacity.
So the fact that they do serious work is a conduit to reaching this level of love.
Absolutely. But for now,
for now, you man the fries.
That's it.
You're going to be on fries.
That's it. You got it, Zoe. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to my friend. It might not be yours, but he's mine. My homeboy, Tony Massey. He's an author of relationship works as well as a famous chef. My guy, Tony Massey, is in here leading it. Somebody called it Love GED. All right, here we go. Let's get these callers in here right now. Leroy from Inglewood, California. Holla at us, brother. What are your thoughts?
First of all, appreciate the show and the humor after the break. Y'all finally got, on the same page, finally. This is the first time we got clarity in terms of kind of where y'all talking. I want to make a statement and then ask a question. Is that all right, dear Brother Zoe?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Yes. Initially, when you first began, it seemed like y'all having a separate conversation. And y'all right. But my statement is,
wait. You broke up, Leroy. You got to say it again. You said it seems like we were having a separate conversation and.
Yeah, it seemed like you're having a separate but similar conversation, but not quite the same thing. But when you came back from the break, like just now, commenting on that woman, seemed like y'all got on close to the same page. So thank you for that. I want to make a statement and then ask a question. The statement I want to make is in terms of definition. Both of you two definitions of diet love seem to be a little not the same. And that didn't seem to be reconciled. So I did want to offer that one of the earliest conceptions of a definition of love was the same tool that you use in a garden or on a farm or on a ranch to till up the ground that then leads to the cultivation. We call that tool a hoe today. And the hoe is used to break up the ground, and then that's an implication of hard work that leads to the planting and then the cultivating and then the protection and the growth and the de-weeding and the watering that eventually leads to the plant or the flower or the tree, and then we benefit from the fruit of that tree, that plant, that flower. And most of us are calling the fruit the love, when in fact the real love is the breaking up of the ground, the hard work. That's the definition, or one of the earliest definitions I'm most familiar with. Second, my statement, I would say, and I would hope that you two would re-clarify your definitions of diet love. But my statement would be, my dear brother Tony Massey, it seems like Zoe is, if this was a competition, and I don't see it as that, but it's like he's outpointing you on linguistic sins, right? And sin meaning missing the mark, right? Not, you're not close, but he's hitting you with linguistic sins by you saying all and can't, when in fact most and many and very difficult or extremely difficult would put what you're saying right in the center line of what he might be seemingly trying to avoid, right? And then I question, Brother Tony, the placing of spiritual ceilings on people just because of where they are at this stage in their development, right? Right. I question that, even though I have a feeling, because you intimated it multiple times, there is a possibility there. It just don't seem like they're ready to take the helmet off on the bus, you know?
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to leave that there, and I hope that you...
Leroy, stay with us, because you put a lot on our minds.
Yeah.
And I want Tony to respond to you
right.
after we come forward. When we come forward, Tony versus Leroy, Inglewood versus Houston.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 is inviting you to join us on Saturday, September 16th, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for our very first economic empowerment event for the community. This event is free and is powered by Caltrans. We're doing this in association with Rambo House, and here's Rambo to tell you more.
Contracts. I'm going to say it again for all of us small business owners out there. Contracts. Rambo House, KBLA, Tavis, me. Oh my God, this is going to be massive. I truly thank Caltrans for giving us the opportunity to focus on contracts. Listen, that's what it's all about to be a small business in LA. That's how we hire our own. That's how we expand our community is contracts. KBLA1580.com is for you to have a seat at our contracts-focused event. Contract Ready does it again. We had over 900 last time. So you guys know how exciting this is. And if you just think that you want to get into contracts and you're close to it, bring your friends out for September 16th at the Marriott Hotel. Listen, you know where to register. KBLA1580.com. Come see me. I can't wait to see you. Let's do it, Tavis.
So be sure to go to KBLA1580.com for all the details. We'll see you Saturday, September 16th.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog, no small. And mama cooked the breakfast with no hog. I got my grub on, but didn't dig out. Finally got a call from a girl I wanna dig out. Hooked it up for later as I hit the dough. Thinking, will I live another 24? I gotta go, cause I got me a drop top. And if I hit the switch, I can make the drop. Had to stop at a red light, looking in my mirror, not a jacker in sight, and everything is alright. I got a beat from Kim, and she could do it.
My observation clinically has been for a couple to maintain their relationship without it deteriorating, they have to spend 90 minutes a week together talking about their lives, about how the house is run, about what they've all been doing to keep their stories caught up, right? And then they need to spend at least one time having a date, and 2 is better. 1 is necessary, 2 is better. You can't aim for a lot more than that because, you know, life is very busy, and if it's going to be sustainable, it has to be realistic. But they need to make time for each other twice a week and talk in a non-romantic way, just practically about the domestic economy and about everything that's going on. And that keeps people tied to each other and updated. And so that's sort of your minimal commitment level if you don't want things to deteriorate.
So, we've been having a discussion that 90%, 99% of most relationships have a diet relationship.
Yes. And for clarification,
diet love, diet forgiveness,
Right.
diet understanding, diet empathy, right?
it's missing all of the necessary parts to make it whole.
And you're saying the majority of basically most people, the reason why they experience that type of, bare minimum kind of relationship is because they're somehow internally flawed?
No, I'm saying that they've reached their capacity.
All right, I need you to answer Leroy's question.
I would love to.
Leroy, Inglewood, back in the building. Sir,
Yes, sir.
That was a powerful question you delivered to us, and I want Tony to answer it. Tony, answer Leroy's question.
I will answer his question. What was the question? Who's the master?
You don't remember the
No,
question?
I remember the question. I'm
First and foremost, a clarification of your definition of diet love. That's A.
Okay.
I think you just gave that, but it sounded more like you were saying malnutrition, malnourished love than actual diet love. But that's I don't want to be picking at straws. I mean, splicing hairs. But the real question in this sense for you would be, or something to address, I would say, is I question the spiritual ceiling that you are placing on people relative to them being at this stage in their development, even though you have implied in other spaces that the opportunity for growth is there, the possibility of growth is there, but some kind of way you're still placing, like, you're still holding them to the spiritual ceiling. It's almost like if you started off with the short bus with your name on the helmet,
come on,
you're going to stay on the short bus with the name on the helmet.
That's
as opposed to, well, perhaps if you just change the environment or put rich dad in place of poor dad, or you gave a different teacher, then that same person that started with the helmet on the short bus ends up being the opera star, the NFL athlete, or the scientist. If they was exposed to a different catalyst that helped bring what's in them out of them, as opposed to people dumping in them, square peg round hole type stuff. So I know that's more, but I think you can grasp that. I know you can handle it.
we got it.
We appreciate the context, Tony.
So first, when I say diet love, I'm the love causes may cause malnutrition, but the love isn't malnutrition. So the love is void of all of the things that would make it whole. It's void of all of the
Wait, huh?
the difficult things.
So wait, say that again.
I'm saying that the love that when I talk about diet love, I'm talking about incomplete love that is not whole, right?
All right.
It's missing all of the elements that make it real love.
Okay.
And that's what I think most of us are operating with, right?
Okay. So by definition, we can't call that love.
No, you still can call it love. It's just not love complete. So it's incomplete love.
So love.
It's not sustaining.
Wait, love can be incomplete?
Absolutely. Come on, Zoe.
No.
Absolutely. You know that. So love has to be in its whole.
If it's real, it's whole.
I mean, say real. So you're adding adjectives.
If
I'm
it's
talking about
not,
love.
if it's not real, it's not love.
So it has to be real in order for it to meet the definition of love?
Yes.
So nobody's experiencing love then?
We said 99%, didn't we?
It's not experiencing love?
No.
I thought we said that 99% were experiencing diet love.
Yes, they're not.
It's still love.
It's not love. This is semantics here.
Then let's stop using the word. What are they experiencing?
Attachment.
Okay, I'll concede to that. There's
codependency.
Absolutely, I will concede to that.
What?
So let me.
What he conceded?
No, I will. Because you're right.
Bend the knee.
I'm not bending anything. So let me address the second part. Because you bring up a good point. I'm not putting ceilings on anyone. What I'm saying
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is it is intellectually dishonest for us to sit here and even pontificate the idea that everyone is capable or has the capacity to go to have experiences at the level of everyone else.
Caller, answer his question.
Okay, so if I may, because you're contradicting yourself at the same time you're giving confirmation.
No, I'm not.
For the height of.
Yes, you
No,
are.
How?
I'm with Leroy.
You're playing antagonist. Go ahead, Leroy.
Can I
I'm
share
sorry.
my
Go ahead.
perception,
Yes,
dear
please.
brother?
Please.
Can I share my perception? That don't mean that I'm all the way correct. Let me share my perception, if you don't mind, sir. Just like you're doing. It seems like you're contradicting yourself, while at the same time, inside of the contradiction is like you're higher intellect than the answer you're giving right now. You've already shown that. Okay? Placing a spiritual ceiling on people, I'm not here to tell you that that's wrong. I'm saying that is limiting to people who, if they had a different type of teacher, a different type of exposure, a different type of catalyst, then they could literally transform by a renewing of their mind.
Exactly.
And
if it is true, like what you said, if Sexy Red and Sukiyana, with this old ratchet strip hop madness, can then come into the light of Shahrazad Ali and Susan Taylor and Joy DeGruy Leary and Queen Afua, and then in 9 months after that level of exposure turn into somebody radically transformed, different and new, then you would say, oh, wow, Sukiyana is not just, and Sexy Red is not just, but they have graduated towards the goddess stage.
You better speak
as a
on
result
it.
Of,
Are you really co-signing?
so
Wait a minute.
The possibility is there, but the exposure and the different type of teacher and environment has not presented itself, or they have not presented themselves to be ready for that. And as a result, they're not growing. They're going down. They're going down, and which is feeding into what you're saying. But I'm saying if they were exposed to the other opportunity, even if they didn't change, the 100,000 women that they're influencing would change. From Susan Taylor, from Queen Afua, from Shahrazad Ali, from Joy DeGruy Leary. You see what I'm saying? From what's the sister name? Lynn Richardson, Lynn Calfani Cox, Tiffany Alish, Michelle Singletary. Their whole lives would be transformed if they was exposed to that in a healthy way. Not just the women, not just Sexy Red and Sukiyana of the world and the strip hop queens of the world, the city girls of the world, but the women that they influence. If those women that they influence were exposed to that on a regular basis in a healthy way, then they would break out of the spiritual ceiling that you place on them.
You know what the whole problem?
I mean, because
you know what the problem?
I'm pitching that out there.
Wait, Leroy, hold tight. You are on complete fire, and you are roasting Tony right now.
You are not about to go to break.
We got to come forward. We got to come forward. Leroy from Inglewood, the city of champions, said he would not sit here and tolerate your besmirching of another man's spiritual ceiling. It will not happen on the Voice of Reason. When we come forward, this most heated debate shall continue.
Drove to the pad and hit the showers. Didn't even get no static from the cowards. Cause just yesterday, them fools tried to blast me. Saw the police and they rolled right past me. No flexing, didn't even look in a brother's direction as I ran the intersection.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Biden administration officials say they'll help those impacted by Hurricane Idai.